Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm back with another 7 days 7 looks video. And the last time I made one of these, I did it for a whole month. But this time I'm back to my normal routine and I filmed 7 days in a row. And full disclosure, this week the temperatures varied from 10 to 17 degrees Celsius. And I started the week with some of my current staples. The jacket and the pants are from COS and the boots are from Mista. And then the sweet tote bag I got from Another Stories. It's one of my more basic outfits, but I do love an outfit I can just grab and know I will be comfortable for the whole day. And this is exactly that. And I also got to say that my motivation for filming this video was because I received some items from a brand called Lily Studio. It's my first time I received clothing, and I really thought a long while about what I would accept and what not, because I do only want to share things on here that I feel like I would also purchase myself. And one of the first things I look for when I buy something new or secondhand is material. And all the pieces I got are 100% wool, and for me that's really important because I know they will keep me warm and I will want to wear them not only for their aesthetic but also for their warmth and their quality. And the first thing I picked out and was super excited about is this cardigan. It has two things that I have been loving lately. First of all, it's brown, and I've been desperately searching for a wool brown cardigan that's affordable and not too chunky. And the other thing is the fact that it has a green layer built in. I've been experimenting with layering colored t-shirts underneath my clothing instead of white, and it's so satisfying that this one already has that extra detail built in. And to be totally honest, if I wasn't filming this 7 days 7 looks video, I'd probably wear this exact outfit 2 days in a row. When I find something that feels right, both in terms of style and comfort, it just makes sense to me to repeat it. It saves me the effort of planning a new outfit, especially during busy work weeks. And for me, that's the ultimate sign of a good purchase when I want to wear it again the next day and the day after that. But I do want to give a bit more variation and inspiration in these videos. So the next day I did rewear my COS jeans, but this time I paired them with my grey cardigan and my East Studio bag. Again, it's a pretty simple outfit with a very basic color palette, but I don't mind it at all as long as each piece has something special about it. It actually reminds me of that trending audio from a while back. If your outfit isn't interesting by color, it has to be interesting by shape and so on. And for me, this outfit is interesting because of the shapes. My Mista boots always add a little bit of edge, and I think the East bag is really unique too because it's so small and long. And I also really love this jacket. It's also from Lily Studio, and the fabric is slightly scrunched at the bottom and at the ends of the sleeves, and there's even a drawstring at the neck so you can adjust it. And it's also very roomy, which is perfect because I can easily layer it over my oversized sweaters, something I can't do with a lot of my other coats. On Friday, there were no surprises on my bottom half. I wore my Mista boots and the same COS jeans again, but I wanted to bring out something I hadn't worn in a while, and that is this coat, also from COS. I actually don't think I've worn it once in the past year, so I wanted to give it another chance before deciding whether to sell it. Looking back at the footage, I do really like the coat. It's sleek, it fits me well, I think, and it has a really elegant shape. But for my everyday life, it just feels a bit too dressed up. And on top of that, it's made of 100% cotton, which means it's not very warm and the fabric isn't the most comfortable either. So in the end, I decided to let it go. And I know I usually talk more about pieces I buy and not so much about what I let go of. I've never done a big declutter video because the one time I did a big clean out, I actually regretted getting rid of quite a few things. And these days I take a slower approach. I look at what I haven't worn in a while, try it again and see if there's still a reason it's sitting in my closet. And I think I'd like to share the pieces I let go of a little bit more here too, because reflecting on those pieces really helps me shop more intentionally, especially since I buy a lot of my clothes secondhand, where the barrier to buying is admittingly a bit lower. And another reason I decided to part with that coat is because I also got a black wool coat from Lily Studio, and it's quite similar in style, but this one is 100% wool. It's really soft and a lot warmer, and realistically, I know this is the one I'll reach for day to day. And I also did choose this coat thinking it might be a good replacement for the COS coat that I liked in theory, but I wasn't wearing. And then I also paired it with a lighter bag because I do like the contrast of this very dark coat with a lighter bag. On Saturday, I switched up my jeans, but they're actually the same style of jeans from COS, just in a different colorway. And I really love this style, even though I've been leaning towards slightly slimmer fits when I shop for vintage jeans. I still tend to reach for my baggier jeans when I don't want to think too much about how something fits, because I know how these fit and these are just easy and comfortable. And I paired it with the fourth and final piece I received from Lily Studio, and that is this zip-up cardigan with zippers on both sides. And I'd been looking for some lighter sweaters, and this one is perfect for layering because I can easily throw another sweater on top. But if it gets too warm, I can take off the outer layer and still feel like I'm wearing a complete outfit. Because to be honest, sometimes when I layer, I forget to think about what's underneath, and then I end up wearing a jumper that's way too hot for the rest of the day because I didn't plan an actual outfit underneath, and this cardigan solves that problem. And I also really love the color combination of this look. And then I layered it with my wool coat, the gray one, and my white suede bag from Max, just to add a lighter touch that adds some balance with the darker tones. By Sunday, my Costco had already sold, but I still wanted to take it out for one last wear. And I think that might be my anxious attachment showing, because every time I sell something, I feel this strong urge to wear it one final time, just to make sure I won't regret letting it go, and I want to make sure I tried everything. But it also happened to be a good day for it since I was visiting the fashion museum in Antwerp. So, not exactly a typical day for me, so I could get away with an outfit that was a bit more style over function. And then I paired the coat with a wool skirt from Another Stories, which I haven't been wearing much lately either. It's probably because it's not the most comfortable or practical piece as well, but I still really like the silhouette. And then to finish the look, I added my East Studios bag again and wore my Mista slides. Another pair I haven't reached for often. They're not exactly work friendly, but also not quite a going out shoe. So I'm hoping I'll get more wear out of them once spring comes around. And I have to say, the most comfortable piece I wore that day was definitely this zip up cardigan. And I really like how I can play around with the zipper, especially when I'm wearing a long skirt. Because sometimes the combination of a sweater and a full skirt like this can be a bit awkward. But leaving the zipper slightly open makes the proportion feel a little bit more natural. On Monday, I went back to some pieces you've already seen. I am a comfort zone dresser and I rewore the brown cardigan. I don't want to pick favorites, but this is definitely my favorite cardigan at the moment. And normally, I'm not the biggest fan of built in layers, but this one I don't mind because it doesn't pretend to be a real layer. You can see that the green and the brown belong to the same sweater, and the brown and green combination is just so good in my opinion. And then I paired it with my COS jeans in a darker wash and my Cat & Co leather bag, which adds a bit of a different texture to the look. And I love that this outfit is made up entirely of darker tones but without a single black piece. That said, when I went out, I did end up throwing on my black wool coat because Belgian weather doesn't always cooperate with my outfit plans, and it was a hot day, but not so hot that I just could wear a cardigan. On Tuesday, I tried out another layering combination, this time with a baby blue fitted long sleeve from COS underneath a green wool v-neck sweater. And it was one of those cozy, easygoing days where I find myself craving an almost entirely second-hand outfit. Apart from the long sleeve and my boots, everything I wore that day was second-hand. And there is something really satisfying about that. So that's everything for my 7 days 7 looks video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I also love to know which outfit was your favorite and maybe also what the last piece you decluttered was and why, because I always find it so interesting to hear how other people approach letting go of their clothes. And I hope to be back soon with a new video. It's either going to be another Shop My Closet episode where I try to get inspired by a specific clothing brand, or an astro themed video where I might finally dive into the Scorpio aesthetic. But I've been a bit conflicted about Scorpio style because I often see two very different sides to it. On one hand, there's this deep, dark, mysterious aesthetic we all associate with Scorpio energy. But on the other hand, I know a few Scorpio risings who all have this very bold, bright, color blocked style, and it's such an interesting contrast. So if you have any prominent Scorpio placements, I'd love to hear how you feel they influence your style, and I might even include some of your insights in the next video if I may. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.